While it's true that dogs are some of the cutest animals you will ever see, don't be fooled because these fearless canines sure know how to get down and dirty when the situation calls for it. From 3 dogs cornering a giant warthog, to a single dog scaring away 2 lions, and a small bulldog taking on 2 bears, you're about to see 12 shocking times dogs defeated wild animals. Number 12. Pit bull goes up against huge snake. Pit bulls are some of the most aggressive breed of dog, always ready to fight and defend themselves. So, it's no surprise that this pit bull right here isn't afraid to go up against a giant, venomous snake that's seconds away from attacking the canine. For a while, the pit bull approaches the situation with caution before finally grabbing the snake in its jaws. However, the snake manages to escape the first time, but the pit bull decides to try once again and finally manage to grab the reptile in its mouth, swinging the snake constantly so it doesn't bite him. With each strike, the pit bull grows more aggressive, determined to finish off its enemy. With one final lunge, the pit bull manages to kill the snake, saving itself for good. Number 11. Dog attempts to kill monkey. While monkeys aren't as aggressive or deadly as some canine species, they have the intelligence that it takes to escape from dangerous situations. And once monkeys know that they're under threat, they'll do just about anything to protect themselves. But this monkey is no match for 3 dogs that are out to get it. The 3 dogs here are dragging this poor monkey on the street, with each canine sinking his teeth into the poor animal. The monkey is almost turned into a feast for the 3 canines, but somehow manages to find an opening and makes a run for it, joining other members of its family. Even then, the dogs try to the very last moment to grab the monkey back, but by then, it's too late and the primate manages to climb up to safety. Number 10. Showdown between a leopard and a dog. Some dogs are braver than others. Despite the fact that a leopard can break a dog's neck in a single move, this canine decides to fight back against its predator. In a surprising moment, this dog is immediately alerted when a leopard lunges at it. In most cases, this would be enough for any dog to make a run for it. But this dog stands up against the wildcat without any fear, barking and pouncing at it to protect itself. While the leopard sticks around for a couple of minutes to see if the dog is gonna let its guard down, the wildcat ultimately has to give up. Seeing just how aggressive the canine is, the leopard slowly backs off into the distance, letting the dog win this battle. Number 9. Dogs corner warthog. Warthogs might look intimidating, but in reality, they're some of the least aggressive animals out in the wild, which is why it's so easy for this poor warthog to find itself trapped between 3 pit bulls who start barking at the wild animal as an intimidation tactic. The dog's barks get louder and louder, and the warthog doesn't have a chance to escape with the 3 canines surrounding it. The warthog makes several attempts to run or chase the dogs away, but to no use. Finally, one of the dogs decides to put the animal out of its misery and lunges at the warthog, sinking its teeth into it to drag the animal down into the water where the other 2 canines are waiting to devour it. Number 8. Dog irritates mountain lion. Dogs and cats definitely don't make for a great pair of friends, which might be why this wildcat is seen going head to head with 2 dogs, trying to take them down. But as the mountain lion lunges and roars at the dogs, the 2 brave canines don't back down and keep barking at the wildcat to scare it away. In the middle of all of this barking, the mountain lion gets confused and somehow stops itself from going after the dogs. Number 7. Dog scares away lions. Despite their domesticated nature, dogs aren't afraid of going on the defense against animals twice their size, and sometimes this bravery pays off. This dog right here finds itself right in front of 2 deadly lions who are ready to pounce on the poor canine. But as soon as the wildcats start approaching, the dog immediately starts jumping around and barking at them, taking them by surprise. The dog even lunges at the two lions to scare them off, and once it has managed to move the wildcats away from itself, the canine makes a run for it, leaving the lions confused. Number 6. Wolf and dog go head to head. Wolves and dogs are old cousins, but considering how aggressive wolves are, they won't think twice before turning on their own family and going after dogs, especially if they're domesticated and less resilient. This dog is busy minding its own business when a wolf spots it from far away. The wolf is waiting for its moment to pounce, but the dog manages to spot the predator before that can happen. Then, the dog immediately lunges at the wolf, barking at it to scare it off. While the wolf tries to fight back, it ultimately is no match for the brave dog and has to run away, leaving the dog free to continue its bathing. Number 5. Dog teaches leopard a lesson. While leopards are considered to be the weakest of all wildcats, they're still strong enough to defeat any species of dog in a matter of minutes. But this brave dog right here decides to teach the wildcat a lesson. As the leopard attempts to lunge at the dog, the brave canine immediately fights back. When the leopard manages to capture the dog in its jaws, the dog continues to fight instead of kneeling down. After a long struggle, the dog manages to escape the clutches of this deadly leopard, attacking it back. As a result, the leopard ends up running away, giving the dog enough time to find a spot to hide and recover. Number 4. Dog scares off cougar. Cougars are generally harmless animals, but when they feel like they're being threatened, these wildcats aren't afraid to tear anyone apart, especially smaller species such as dogs. But this brave dog right here makes sure that the cougar in front of it knows that the canine isn't afraid. As the cougar approaches, its eyes set on the target, the dog starts barking in an attempt to threaten the wildcat away. And while the cougar roars back at the dog, it soon realizes that this dog isn't going to go down without a fight, and that's enough for this cougar to back away slowly. Number 3. Dog scares away bears. While bears generally don't prey on dogs, they're still big and fast enough to send the bravest canines running off into the distance. But the opposite happens here when this 20-pound French bulldog manages to scare away not one, but 2 giant bears. Looking at the size of this dog, it definitely doesn't have the strength to go up against 2 bears. But this is one smart bulldog, because as soon as the bulldog charges at the bears, they are taken aback, running in the opposite direction. The fierce bulldog doesn't stop until it makes sure that the bears are gone for good, driving them up a fence and outside its territory. Number 2. Dobermans take on lethal snake. Snakes aren't afraid of anything. With their strong jaws and lethal venom, these reptiles know that a single bite is enough for them to kill even the deadliest of predators. But you'll be surprised to know that even the most dangerous snakes tend to stay away from dogs because of how aggressive they get in the face of threats. This unfortunate snake is caught right between 2 dogs who are out to make sure that the reptile has no chance to strike. The 2 dogs work together to bark and scare the snake, and right in the nick of time, one of the dogs lunges for the snake, trapping it in its jaws, swinging it around, and biting down till the snake is finally dead. Number 1. Coyote tries to trap dog. While coyotes and dogs are technically related, that doesn't stop the wild coyotes from luring in dogs to attack them brutally, which is exactly what's happening here. This domestic dog is minding its own business when a coyote comes out of nowhere and attacks it from behind. The dog immediately starts going after the coyote, and for a minute, it seems like the canine isn't going to give up before it has a hold of the coyote. But soon enough, it decides to turn the other way and moves away from the wild coyote, ignoring its calls. And while it might look like a cowardly act, the dog is actually saving itself from being led into a larger pack of coyotes, which is a common tactic used by the wild animals to prey on unsuspecting canines. Alright, comment down below which of these brave dogs impressed you the most. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Wildly for more. See you in the next one.